So what we're going to do next is I'm going to identify all the components of the FMs. On the far right side you have your fixer bay, which if you lightly push the door inward, it pops open. You have a Teflon tube coming down here with two smaller tubes, which is inserted into the fixer bottle when you're running. Next you have your sample position 2, and you have a vial clip on the bottom here to hold your vial, and you have a little nut on the top that makes a seal on the sample tube, so you can spin that left or right to clamp down on the tube. Next you have sample position 2 with your fixer arm 2 and your magnet and the well cover. Next you have your leveling vials, which are in the horizontal position, so you have both the y-axis and the x-axis. Then you have sample position 1 with the sample position 1 arm, fixer arm. They both have a small rubber bumper here to stop the arm from going down too far. They hit the slide and breaking it, so just be aware of that. On the left side, you have sample bay 1 position here. So the same thing on the left side is on the right side is on the left. And then again on the left side, you have the waste compartment. So you just open the door, and then inside, if you gently pull on it, there is a line and a cap which gets screwed onto your waste bottle. On the back side, you have your on and off button here. So to turn it on, you simply press it down until the red is exposed, and that means it's on. This location here is your Ethernet connection. So if you want to connect the FM to the Ethernet, you plug it in here. This is your plug-in for your power, which if you take a screwdriver and pop the bottom on here, you have the 1 amp fuse inside, and then you have 4 USB ports. And at the top here, you have station 2 and station 1. This is to clean out the pump. If the pump tubing is stuck, you can use isopropyl alcohol and use your syringes to attach to it and clear the pump out. On the bottom of the unit, you'll find 5 feet. So when you adjust the unit, you want to make sure that 2 feet on either side are twisted all the way up. These are actually not leveling feet, but they're stabilizer feet. The actual leveling feet is the one in the back and the 2 front. So when you go to level the unit, the 2 front feet you've got to turn in and out to adjust the side either or up and down. So then you want to adjust your bubble until it's leveled out. So if you look at the vials, you can see that the top vial is all the way at the top, and there's a center marker in between each vial. And you can see if the bubble is actually centered on the center marker, which of course this is new in the feeder all the way up, so it is not. So what we're going to do is we're going to just lift the unit up slightly, and we're going to turn the feet with our hands and move the feet down on each side until we can make the correct adjustment to the bubbles. So what I do is I set the pitch of the unit, this unit, up, and then what I do is I correct it by moving it side to side with just fine adjustments. So I move it a little and it still needs more adjustment yet. So now we have our top bubble in the center, and we are slightly off on our bottom bubble. It's to the right. So that means we have to lift this foot up slightly to center it out. which we're good now. So both bubbles are on their setter points, and we have now leveled the unit. Well, we're next going to put the waste bottle in place. So you got to take your waste bottle out of the box and make sure the O-ring is there, like I said before, with the grease, a little bit of grease around it just to give it some lubrication. You got to press inward on the door and open it up. You got to pull the cap slightly out. Now, if the cap comes off the two hoses, note that they're marked. One hose is marked with the yellow dot and the yellow line on the hose. If it comes off, just make sure you get it the correct way. Otherwise, you will suck fluid into your vacuum pump. So just pull out slightly, put the bottle on, and then thread it onto the cap. And you don't have to tighten down really tight, just snug it up, and then place the bottle in and shut the door. You're going to plug in the mouse and the power cord. So plug the mouse into any of the USB ports on the back. And then the power cord, there are two chamfered spots on the top of it. Just match it up with the inlet of the unit. With the power cord and mouse connected, we're going to move the rocker switch to the on position, and the Trico light will light up, and then the screen will go through its boot up menu. So this takes a little bit since it is a computer system. You're going to go through the boot up process, and then the Windows screen will come up, and then the Trico program will start.